Ketetha.
Hi, Dallas.
We're doing this. It's going to be clear to everyone in a minute, but you are a very busy person. So the fact that we were both able to find an hour
I know.
to get together is a feat in and of itself. So I'm really happy to see you here, and I'm excited about our conversation.
Me too. I've been waiting for this. I've been dreaming of this. So I know a lot of good stuff is going to come out of this conversation.
Great. So what do you want to walk away with at the end of our time together?
Okay. I'm currently a resident physician and in training, and I've been doing developing doc alongside residency.
Tell everybody what developing doc is, just so they're clear.
So developing doc is a coaching program where I help medical students who have entered medical school really envisioning a bright and rewarding future. I help them get clarity on what they actually want as a physician, network with purpose, and experience career-changing mentorship without the burden of imposter syndrome, without burnout, and being deterred by bad advice. So I'm really helping doctors find their way along the path in a way that's fun. That's a development.
And you're also on the path. So you've got 2 more years of residency, is that right?
Yes, I just started my second year, so technically it's like 2.5. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So now back to my original question. Thank you for filling in the gaps for me. What do you want to walk away with from?
I want to walk away with a sustainable plan for the next 2.5 years of while I'm in residency, of what I can do with developing doc and how I can service medical students, but at the same time, take care of my own physical and mental health. And honestly answer the question finally that's been coming up in my head is, should I be trying to run a business and do residency at the same time?
Right.
Yeah. And I want to have a clear plan of what I want to do so that I can kind of lean on that instead of questioning myself, because every couple of months, I start to say, oh, should I even be doing this? Maybe I should fold. Maybe I should fold. And if I am going to fold, what does that look like so I can pick it up later? Because I truly want to help.
Right. Okay. Because residency is taking up how much time? Paint the picture for me.
So we do an average, the cap is 80 hours per week. As psych residents, I do an average of 50 to 60 hours per week.
Okay.
And it's a lot, but that's not even counting the admin time and the nails and you might be on till 5 p.m., but if a patient gets admitted at 4 p.m. and you need to go through their meds and you need to meet them and you need to call collateral, you'll be at the hospital for later.
Yeah.
I find myself as an efficient resident and I'm getting out at a certain time, but it's hard to kind of wind down and transition into Ketetha. And I'm starting to lose who I am.
Right. That's what I was wondering. So there's the actual hours, there's the clocked hours, and then there's the unclocked hours. And then I'm going to call them the emotional hours.
Yeah.
Right? Where you're just not really in your life because of the type of work that you're doing and the amount of work that you're doing. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Well put.
Let's fast forward, shall we? It's 2.5 years from now. You've completed your everybody, she's crying, she's cheering, all of the feelings.
I made it.
Yeah, right, good. It's 2.5 years from now. You've finished your residency. So there's a reason why you wanted to start developing doc. And what I'd like to hear is, what is your vision post-residency of your career, your life, and your coaching business?
Okay. Well, can I be completely honest?
Yeah, totally.
Of how developing doc started, because it's developing doc started in between me graduating and residency. And I was moving to Stanford, to Palo Alto, and I promised myself I would not get into a residency program that was more expensive than LA, like more expensive cost of living than LA. Sure enough, I fall in love with Stanford and I'm now living in the Silicon Valley.
Okay.
And so I was hard pressed for money. And my sister has her own business and she said, Ketetha, you should start something. So developing doc was started out of, I have a skill and I want to help people and I can get my time is valuable and I can get paid
Mhm.
for it. I can do what I'm doing for money.
Yes.
And I hesitate to say that because I don't want people to, it's a little, it almost seems like shameful to be like, oh, I started this for money, but it's always in the back of my mind, right?
Mhm.
As it started to happen and I got my first clients on my first launch, I couldn't even believe it. I realized how much I loved helping people
Yeah.
who were like me, having a difficult medical school experience and constantly being told, oh, you just have to wait till this thing. You have to wait till this thing, or like, you'll get through this, and just be given like very vague, non-personalized advice.
Mhm.
So then I discovered coaching and what that was and how I could really dive in and help people.
Mhm.
So I envision for Developing Doc a huge coaching program that actually services medical schools, and that it takes people like me that with something to offer and stories to offer, that have learned the lessons along the way, who are coaching people and creating these communities in which people actually feel safe to talk about the issues that are happening in medicine. And better than Reddit, right? This anonymous, I mean, I see these communities on Reddit, but it's just not personalized. It's not
Yeah.
And I see those conversations happening in these communities as people are developing into the doctors they want to be. And I see it expanding. I see it expanding to PhD programs, to nursing programs, to all these different types of programs. But yeah, I see it as an empire, and I want it to build, because I know we need that help in medical schools. The advising systems are not built to help each individual medical student. Their agenda is different.
Mhm.
And the financial office, their agenda is different. And I want an outside source whose agenda is to allow people to become the doctors that they want to be, and not suffer in the way I see so many physicians suffering.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because today is National Physician Suicide Awareness Day.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And that's a very big of a reason why I find this work so impactful, is because physicians end up killing themselves in residency and beyond. And I see those habits starting in medical school. So I'm interested in changing those habits at the start and giving people that education, the education that they really need in medicine.
Mhm.
How do I pace myself?
Mhm.
How do I take care of myself when I have a bad outcome? Who am I outside of this job?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you went in, oh, here's I have these skills. I can make some money with this too. I'm going to transform the medical field.
Yeah,
Right?
I want to change the culture completely.
Yeah.
Truly.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So 2.5 years from now, when you're done with residency, how does being a doc, are you planning on practicing medicine? What does that piece look
I
like?
am,
You are? Okay.
I am.
Yeah.
I intend to, but I don't intend, because there's the idea of you can build your own practice, which would be another business, right? And
Yes.
starting this, I see how much is in what it takes to build a business. It's not just something you can just do and your business is thriving. So I hope to just work for a company, a community office. They have some really good deals where you can work 9 shifts a month and make a lot.
Great. Yeah.
So I don't want to be a martyr. I don't want to burn myself out. I want to relax.
Yep.
And honestly, I would love to build Developing Doc.
Got it. Okay. So what started as an easy idea, almost out of necessity, has turned into a very meaningful mission for you. And what I also heard, just in case you're not hearing it, I want to reflect it back.
Yeah.
Your intention when you complete residency is to practice what you preach and live.
Yes.
Right? Live as a physician, truly.
Yep.
And model that for others.
Exactly. That's exactly, you really caught it there. I don't want to just work as hard as I am, slaving for the next thing. I want to help patients and feel satisfied doing that.
Yeah, that's so beautiful. Okay. So that's the 2-year vision. Developing Doc is an empire that is brought, really the client is universities more than individuals.
If it can expand, I think that's where it's needed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So here we are, 2.5 years away from that milestone where there will, practically speaking, be more spaciousness to devote to developing doc.
Yeah.
What's your relationship to developing doc right now?
Well, I was doing it maybe 10, 20 hours a week and pretty consumed with it and like
Mm-hmm.
trying to move it along, especially as I've joined the hive, going through the modules, figuring things out. So it was taking up a lot of time. I went through Client Surge and I just have a new offering. It's group coaching, which I found a better way to serve more people
Mm-hmm.
than privates. And I actually hired someone. I hired a client success manager, and we've been working together for a month and a half.
Okay.
So interestingly enough, I created this entire manual. The habits that I've created inside the hive are working well. We have these team meetings once a week, and I'm not doing so much work.
Like
Um,
the admin
yeah,
solopreneur stuff. Okay, you're just
yes,
really delivering to the group.
for the group, right?
Got
But
it.
then there's
Mm-hmm.
still this thing in the background where how do I get more? The community is not as robust as I want, our weekly email, sometimes we can't find conversations to put in the weekly email. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
finding that to be like, oh, I want more conversation. So there's a side of me that's like, okay, I got to go out, I got to do more, and I got to help it grow,
Mm-hmm.
which is, it's hard for me to, when everything else it's hard for me because everything else in my life on my plate I'm trying to stop.
Yeah.
Developing doc, I'm relating to it in this weird way where it naturally needs to grow because I don't want to lose the momentum,
Uh-huh.
but I kind of need it to just work.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So here's the thing I want to propose, and let's see if how open you are to it, like how true it feels for you.
Okay.
You could pause, develop. This is not a suggestion. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
concept.
Okay.
You could pause developing doc and pick it up 2.5 years from now and still build it into what you want it to be. So
Yeah.
if there's any sort of whisper inside of you, like telling you now is the time and you gotta seize the moment or keep it growing,
Yeah.
that's bullshit.
Yeah.
Right? You can pick it up when you need to. Again, I'm not
Yeah.
suggesting that, but that's false pressure that you don't need.
Okay. Yeah. That's how it feels.
Right? Yeah. And there's likely a part of you that's like, well, yeah, but if I'm doing it, I don't half-ass things. So I don't know how to not grow it.
Exactly. Because
Right.
what is it going to be? What is the Instagram account going to be? What do I say about it? What what is it? And I guess I don't really care what people think. I don't know. I'm not used to having to set things aside.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Do you want to? Like if the ego, if Ketetha could speak now and only Ketetha, right?
Yeah. Do I want to? That's the hard part. No, because I'm on to something and I found the hive and I'm doing the right things. And
Yeah.
like I'm working well with the client success man, like everything is working.
Yeah.
I just need, but I'm like, I feel like no, but I don't know how to grow in the way that I want quickly. And I know that's not going to happen. Like the marketing side, the expertise I don't have. And then also Dallas, I also feel like I don't have, not only do I not have the time, but I don't have the money to invest in it.
Okay. So let's be turtles together.
Mm-hmm.
Slow and steady is often way more efficient and productive than this like hustle culture of gotta move now and burn the midnight oil. It's just I've mentored a lot of coaches. I've been a part of a lot of programs. Okay.
Yeah.
There is the minority of successful coaches who did it fast. That is such an exception to the rule. It's like this falsehood that the online business world projects and defends.
Yeah.
And it's not true.
Yeah. How I grew followers and time. I'm like, 7
figures in 7 weeks. Like it's just It's not helpful. Okay, it is just because it's not true.
It's not true.
So you can grow without hustling, right? So we need to reshape what this priority of growing it quickly because it's not serving you. And you actually there aren't hours in the week or money in the bank to grow quickly.
Yeah. I guess it's hard though, because even the inertia of trying, like, you in the hive of trying something and putting it out there. And I feel like I'm losing steam to try something because I'm around medical students all the time. Unfortunately, I'm around Stanford medical students who sometimes don't even feel like they need the help. They're used to juggling all these things. Actually, I do think they do need the help, but I guess it's like I'm stuck, right? I have my onboarding process. I would know how to get them in and go, but I've been stuck in this, do I send them to the website? Do I I've been thinking about handing out these actual physical, this is what developing doc is and trying to stuff people in. I'm just not sure how to, even starting it feels like another project.
Okay. I think I can help with this.
Okay.
Let's just wrap up that other piece around the urgency and I have to build it fast and it has and it has to be big. What could you adopt as a practice to let that go and then do it again tomorrow afternoon when you forget that you let that go, and then again next Thursday when you forget again that you let that go. Ketetha, you're driven, you're ambitious, you're super capable, you're super smart.
Yeah.
You have zero experience going slowly or getting a C minus. You don't even know what that means.
No, I went straight through with everything. I went straight through I couldn't take a break.
And so I'm just inviting you right now, because this is also what you're hoping to model for your developing doc members.
It is. It is.
I'm inviting you to do this imperfectly.
Okay. I know. I mean, I've done I've made it so my schedule where I only work on it in certain days. I guess it's just when I get into that time slot, there is this feeling of panic. And I'm wondering if the practice of telling myself you have time, it doesn't have to grow, is always, it works for a second. And then it is counteracted by that weekly email or the lack of conversation or the lack of the promise of community that I'm delivering to the 5 people that are there now.
Okay.
And I want to serve, I was thinking about this. Maybe it's me actually serving the 5 people I have more. I feel like I'm kind of thinking about gridding people in versus, but I'm afraid to serve them directly because I'm it's going to eat up my time. I'm definitely in paralysis.
Yeah, I see it. So your first assignment to take on after this conversation is, what's a simple habit I can adopt to cultivate that belief that it's okay to grow slow?
Okay, a simple habit.
And it could be something as simple as you've set aside time to work on developing doc every week. Light a candle before you begin that work. And it's the lighting of the candle. It's okay, right. I'm practicing building it slowly. It's uncomfortable. That. It can be that simple.
Okay. I like that. Just a reminder. And that stuff helps me with meditation and stuff like that. Yeah. So I like that. I like that a lot. Think of that.
Okay. So now let's talk about what growing it slowly actually looks like.
Okay.
What's coming up for me, and tell me how this lands. Walking around campus handing out pamphlets doesn't seem like the strategy that I would take on.
I know.
Right? And I almost wonder if what we need is a gathering place before people move into developing doc.
Yeah.
So hear me out a little bit, because 2.5 years from now, what if, as much as growing the actual coaching program, you were growing a community of people who want the program or who know now other residents who like who wish they had the program when they were in residency,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Right. So I'm just wondering if during your weekly time that you focus on developing doc, we set different metrics for success.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of bringing in another student or finding conversations to highlight in the weekly email, like those success metrics are not working for you.
You're not, and they make you feel like terrible.
Right. But what if instead the success metric was I'm just making up, I'm grabbing Instagram because that's my favorite marketing platform.
Yeah.
Okay. Is connecting with 5 doctors on Instagram.
I really need the slow and low, right? Like I've been thinking
Totally.
about that. Yeah. Like, because I'm not engaging. I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I be honest? You don't have the bandwidth right now for developing doc to be this massive empire.
I don't.
It's not supposed to be big right now.
Okay. It's just so, so you know what makes me feel like I need to go fast is because if I don't capture that, like a lot of people that I talk to are 4th years, so I've already lost them. And then if I don't capture them this year or they don't know about me when they need the help, then it's like, I feel like just the medical students grow up and they leave. They grow up and they leave. They grow up and they leave. And I feel like when I engage with someone and create a connection, what does that connection matter if they're never going to have my help?
Because it serves your bigger vision of becoming a reputable program that universities want to bring into their organization. The more doctors who know about developing doc, who trust you, the more it serves your bigger vision. Okay. Think about it in this way. Before I got pregnant, I didn't know any pregnant people. Right? I didn't know any moms. But that, boy, you go through that process and suddenly you know a bunch of moms or soon to be moms or moms with toddlers and you have a newborn. You're like in this whole other community.
Yeah.
So don't you think the same is true in the medical profession? 4th years, right? Now they complete their residency. They're working.
Yeah.
They're working at a hospital or in their own practice where they know other medical students. So let's reframe this from, I got to serve people. So TikTok, I have to catch them early. And every medical student or doctor you contact, it's another drop in the reputation building bucket. And 2.5 years from now, the real goal here is big reputation.
And what are those conversations about?
Great.
Yeah, just sharing my vision, talking about culture and community.
Great. So I talked about this gathering place, right? And it could be it could be a Facebook group, it could be a Slack channel, it could be a LinkedIn.
I have a free Discord channel.
Okay.
I have no one in. I have people in the ones that are paid. But I don't have many people in there. Great. And I want that to be where people come. I guess I find it, I think I would do it the way you say to always do it, honestly. And like, hey, like, just talk to people and then say like, hey, I know this might sound awkward, but I have a Discord channel where I hope to talk about these things.
Right. Well, except for don't plant the seed that it's awkward because it's not awkward.
Yeah.
Right. So we'll cover this, but a place to go inside of the Hive curriculum is the community code training, the DM connection strategy.
Okay.
I think it's the 5th video, but pardon me for not having the order of all 46 videos memorized.
Yes. You're fine. I mean, they're incredible.
So, but here's what it might look like. Okay. I've got 2 hours set aside on Thursdays. During that time, I'm making authentic connections with medical professionals and or medical students. By doing this consistently, we're building your reputation. You will also find the candidates for developing doc and the opportunity to pamphlet drop them, air quotes, right? Will come naturally. But let's focus on the bigger vision.
Yeah, building the community.
With smaller steps.
Okay.
So So maybe it's LinkedIn, or maybe it's the Stanford Student Network. You know the best platforms, right? And I would just so there's engagement that happens, right? So we begin with engagement. Someone posts about like the relief they feel at the end of a shift because it went really well. Replying to that post, having the kind of conversations on these other platforms that you want to have on your Discord channel.
Okay.
This is how people then notice you and feel like, okay, she's on to something, instead of, oh, she's inviting me to do some paid thing and I don't know her.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's just say you're spending 30 minutes. 15 of those minutes is authentic, legitimate engagement. 15 of those minutes are then clear invitations to the Discord channel.
Okay.
Here's what that might look like. I'll pretend that I'm reaching out to you. Hey, Ketetha, you might not be interested in it, but I think it could be helpful. I have a free Discord channel for doctors in residency who want to make sure that they don't burn out in the process. Would you like the link?
Yeah. Would you like the link?
Yeah. Would you like the link? So now I can choose. You're not just like, hey, here's the link. Bye. See you later. Right?
Yeah.
I can decide. You're really explicit about who it's for and why.
Okay.
Instead of pretending it's something else. I see that all the time in my Instagram DMs.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, I see where this is going. Don't pretend to be interested in me.
Yeah.
Right? Right? But instead, if you just reach out to say like, hey, I see that you might need this, so I'm going to ask if you'd like it.
If you like it, and you get to choose.
And then you can choose. It's really that simple.
I like that a lot. Okay.
So by then building your Discord channel, the free one, we're building reputation, we're building community, we're building your list. We are finding those candidates for the next step, which is your paid program.
Okay. Is there a way I can use the help, my VA to do some of this outreach?
All of it.
All of it. How do you bridge the gap of like the knowledge gap about medicine and like some of these conversations? Like, do I create certain prompts? Like, how do I keep that authentic feeling?
Yes. Okay. So have your VA watch the DM Connection training. Okay. And then the thing we have to remember, when you think about how you actually connect with your friends on social, you're talking about, hey, did you get new glasses? I really like those frames. That's what you're saying in the comments.
Yeah.
Right? You're not like, I know a lot about medicine and let me make sure I really understand the culture.
Just relatable stuff. Yeah.
It's just person to person.
Yeah.
Right? So what your VA would be in charge of is that person to person connection.
Okay.
So what does that look like? I wish I had my phone handy, but I'll just pretend, right? And again, I'm using Instagram as the framework here, but it could be wherever you're hanging out, right? So I see you've posted something. Okay, I'll use the example. Oh, it's the end of my shift and I'm just celebrating because I'm leaving on time.
Yeah.
Right? Your VA looking at that picture, what would they honestly reply? Without any pressure to know anything about medicine.
Must feel good to get out early. Like, what TV show are you watching tonight, or what's for dinner?
Thank you. Done.
Yeah, done. Okay.
And that's the human connection. That's the thing that builds trust.
Okay. And then the conversation sparks, and then
then your VA will know when to flag you. Like, okay, this is a Ketetha worthy contact.
Okay.
They're all worthy. I didn't like that I used that language, but I think like it's time to now pass the baton.
Yeah. And then I pick up and
you pick up. Yeah.
And
so what you could do is, if your VA is doing that connection, then your job when you show up for your little bit of time every week, send voice memos.
To those people. Oh, okay. So I'm really fostering these relationships.
Ah, yes, which is what you want to build. This is a simple version of this brand new culture that you want to create 2.5 years from now.
Yeah, exactly. It is. And it feels more authentic to do that. Like you said, like going slow and just taking the time and one person by one person. That's what I'm preaching is let's not try to find a quick solution way or do everything the way everyone else said to do it. Like it's in figuring out what you want and how you feel about it, how you feel about these connections and using your gut feeling that's what I want for people to do.
Yes. So I'm going to preach for a moment, and this is for everybody listening. I've been in business a long time, so I can, this is a hill I am willing to die on.
Yeah.
I see the energy most coaches put into quick fixes, working really hard, moving really fast.
Yeah.
And it's more work and actually takes more time than the simple habits that we're talking about here. Mm-hmm. And I see it over and over and over again, which is why I get a little bit pissy about this myth of the overnight success, because A, it's a lie, and B, it perpetuates this always seeking for the fast thing, wasting time.
That's what
seeking the fast thing instead of just let me connect with one person at a time. And what happens is it builds this momentum super slowly in the beginning, but it's momentum. And then it's medium momentum. And then it's fast momentum. And the experience ends up being, wow, I can't believe I did that in only a year. It felt so easy.
I love that. And it's fun. It's more fun. I'm talking to people. I'm engaging with people. I'm getting to know people. Yeah, it's honestly a metaphor for it's an important thing I need to use in my life as well. As I find myself in this new city, building relationships and building community. It takes that too. It's the same thing. So I really like that. And I know I've been meaning to do that. I guess I've just been thinking, how do I get them to the newsletter? How do I get them to the funnel? It's
they're going to find their way there.
Yeah.
And I don't mean never talk about it, but let's just break this down. Personal connection, get them into Discord, right? Because that's what you want anyhow.
That's what I want. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then make sure inside of your VA can make sure that at least twice a week, there's an opportunity to get on the list. And that's not anything fancy. Who cares about a lead magnet? They're already in community. So, hey, we send out a weekly email.
Yeah.
We want to make sure you get it because here's the value. Here's the link. Put your email address in the comments and we'll add you. It doesn't have to be fancy or slick.
Yeah. And they don't have to go through all the channel.
Yeah, please, less hoops, please.
Yeah. I know my partner who's doing something and he's like, these are all the hoops that I hate to jump. And I was like, okay, let me simplify this a little bit.
Right? Yeah.
Okay.
Because here's what I heard at the beginning of our conversation. I wish I could remember the exact word you used because it was very all or nothing-ish.
That's me. Black or white thinking.
If I let it flop or if I let it fizzle, it was that kind of language, right? Yeah. And this is just a practice of the slow burn.
Yeah.
Because let's just be honest, that's what you have room for right now.
Oh, I only have room for a slow burn. And you're right though. It's I could continue to I could find people that want to pay me right now and pay me for a couple months and make some money and then make some money and could make but if I don't have a community at the end of it, then I will only be capturing people and then letting them go, capturing people, letting them go.
Yes.
And I still don't have a community.
Yep.
And truly I want a community. I want people to know Developing Doc by name and just to have fun talking in it. And I guess I think that original, that money insecurity, it's pervasive for other reasons in my life that I'm working through. But I need to kind of let that go because I'm okay. I can pay my bills.
And also remember, in this Discord community, it's going to shift from okay, let me go find somebody to people asking you hey, can you help me with this? Yeah, I can help you with that. Grab an hour. Yeah. Okay.
Through coaching, we can help you with that. And it will help me build the course and all that other, all the stuff will come with it. solidifying it. Yeah.
Mhm.
I guess I don't know. I was kind of focused on going into these other communities and trying to poach and find from them.
Mhm.
But not feeling comfortable doing that, and
Mhm.
knowing it wasn't sustainable.
Yeah.
It kind of just stuck there.
Yeah.
So I like that.
Okay.
So with that being said, I guess I continue because it is manageable right now.
Yeah, I think so.
It
And
is, especially with the VA, especially with my, with
Mhm.
my client success manager. I haven't been like, I just check in for an hour a week or so.
Great.
It's really awesome. And I want to grow it.
And it's in service to this really clear, powerful, essential big vision. So that's what I'm taking away from our conversation. You're in a unique circumstance, right? But so everything you're doing, there's a thread from that action to the big vision.
Mhm.
Instead of looking at every action as like, what is the short-term result? We want to have this long-term, this end game,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And this also will help you cultivate the skill that other doctors need to cultivate.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll learn a lot through it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It
Awesome.
makes me happy.
Oh,
It gives me peace. I'm just going to make friends and build a community.
yeah.
That's all I have to worry about.
Yeah.
Everything else will follow.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that a lot.
Good.
Thank you, Dallas.
You're welcome.
I
It's
really
okay to
appreciate
go
it.
slow.
Yeah, I knew that would be the outcome of this conversation. It's like it's a theme of my life right now. It's Ketetha, rest, go slow, just go slow. So
Yeah.
I really appreciate that so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Well, I want to thank everyone for tuning in. If you needed to hear this message, let us know. Let us know. You can find my Instagram handle at the bottom of the show notes. We'll include Ketetha's as well. And let's hip hip hooray for turtles. Turtles unite.
I know, turtles unite. It's the slow that wins the race. Heck yes.
Thanks, Ketetha, and everyone else for tuning in. We'll see you back here next week.